again, still trying to figure this whole shit out. Get the homie Ariels in here. Once again, shout out to the Snow Goons. You know what I mean? At least Sound International, Creative Juices Music. You know what I mean? You can buy the hat, the Snow Goons joint on their website. You could also get the Creative Juices joint on the website.
There we go. Now I can see you.
Peace to the God.
Peace.
Three
See, third time's a charm. You know what I mean?
three times for the understanding, you know?
Word, man. Yeah, how you been though, bro?
I'm good, man. You know, just every day is a blessing, so I just try to take it as that, one day at a time, brother. You know, how's everything with you?
Yeah, everything's going on, man. I can't complain. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We'll make our day what it is at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
True indeed, my G. It's been a minute too, because I think the last time we connected was a few years ago, right?
Yeah, back when I was doing my podcast, I think it was Back to the Basics Radio and shit. I was spinning a bunch of your joints and shit.
Trust. And I think didn't you help me out with didn't you do like some kind of magazine article too? Like you was fucking with a magazine or something too? Was that you?
I think we might have done some shit like that. It's been a while though. Yeah, that was like 6 years ago, I think. If we did do some shit. Yeah.
Trust.
Yo, it's been a minute, bro, and my brain getting kind of dusty and shit, so it's hard for me to remember. You know what I mean? A lot of shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, we've been about.
I appreciate you reaching out.
Well, yeah, of course, not doubt. You know what I mean? Like anybody that deserves, you know what I mean, like support and respect and shit like that, I'm trying to bring on to the show. So that's why I brought you on. You're a dope ass artist, man, and also you're a good dude. So you know what I mean? Like you deserve your flowers now. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you, brother. Much respect. Thank you so much.
No doubt. So before Instagram fucks up some more, whatever they be doing with this app and shit, let's get right into it, yo. So you've been around for a minute. And my thing is a lot of people. I know you switched your names for the online and stuff. And is it still Reels or is it officially permanently changed to Realio Sparkz?
Realio Sparkz. Well, officially, permanently for the rest. You know what I mean? And that was just because it was kind of like a rebirth. Also, too, like. iReels was always my street name because my divine attribute is iReality, and then brother to or just Reels. So it was always just kind of like a street name, and some people still obviously call me that. But like as far as like having an artist name, I wanted to go for as far as like having an artist name. And big shout out to my homie Born Grimy. He's actually doing 10 in the feds right now, but he used to always call me Realio Sparkz, and I kind of, I felt like that was a more better artist name, and I kind of like just transformed myself, you know what I mean, as an artist.
Nah, no doubt. I definitely think that's dope. I mean, yeah, because I always knew you by iReels, and then when you changed the name, and I used to see it pop up, I'm like, yo, who's Realio Sparkz? And I was like, oh, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yo, that's iReels. All right. Word.
Yo, funny shit. I was almost, when I did it, I almost was going to do the MF Doom shit, like, and come masked up, like, so that nobody really would know who it, you know what I mean? But I decided just, fuck it, like, I'm just going to roll with it. But I never did the mask thing because I was like, I didn't want to seem like I was biting, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, I feel you. I mean, to be honest with you, that mask shit is dope. Like, I personally I thought that shit was ill. MF Doom, Kyo Itachi, you know what I mean? Like, that shit is ill, man. And, like,
we can't forget the original Ghostface Killer.
Word, facts. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got all these dope artists doing some dope shit. And it wasn't even like it was like a marketing scheme. It was actually a part of their essence. So that's what made it so dope too. It wasn't like, oh, let's throw on a mask and go trick or treat or something. It was more like there was always science behind them wearing the masks. That shit's ill. So definitely that. I can only imagine what kind of mask you'd rock though. You probably had some ill shit. Watch.
My shit was just gonna be like, you know, kind of like how it is in the promo. Like I was just gonna wear whatever, like, you know. And now it's funny though. You see now you see a lot of people doing the mask. You know what I mean? Whether it's just for a video or whether for a photo shoot or whether it's album cover or whether whatever, you see a lot of people doing the mask now. So
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. I mean, it to each his own, man. I mean, whatever allows you to enjoy this art and still be yourself. That's pretty much what it all boils down to. Because there is no such thing as biting unless you straight hijacking somebody else's idea. It's just like, yo, this is all me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we all doing similar things, but you know what I mean? You can't knock it really, because we all sample each other. We all using different concepts for albums and album covers. I mean, a lot of that shit tends to happen, but the mask shit is dope, man. Like that shit is ill.
trust.
You should still do it. Fuck you. I mean, it's not even considered biting because you paying homage at the end of the day, because you know where it came from. You just admitted where it came from, and you still would like to do it. So fuck you. Why not? You know what I mean?
Might see me masked up in a few things.
No doubt, no doubt. So yeah. So
Back in the days, they might have seen me masked up for a different reason, but might not have known it was me.
there you go. See. Word, man. But yeah, because the reason I brought that up with the whole the name and shit, yeah, because I was spinning your joint, my joint, as Reels, and when I first found out about you, it was actually through Code of Immorta, which is produced entirely by Keo, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that shit was hot. That was 2011, right? Like that's when y'all dropped that.
I believe it was 2011. Yup.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And it's still a flawless joint. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate you saying. I go back. I like it. I really think it's dope. You know what I'm saying? The artist, I felt like it could have been a little bit better. It was kind of rushed in a way because I was excited and it was my first actual like official release. And it was like, it's still a dope project. I'm still very proud of it. You know what I mean? But, you know, sometimes you go back and like, oh, this could have been a little bit tighter or, you know, whatever. But yeah, I'm still very proud of that project, man. Definitely, 100%. And me and Kyle definitely still working. We got a lot of things in our bag right now.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, y'all work well together, man. Shout out to Keo, man. My brother Keo's a fucking beast with beats, man. So yeah, that's a definitely well connected projects, if you want to say that, because that shit, y'all put together some shit.
Appreciate you.
And then I know that the album probably got talked about mad times and shit way back. So let me not go all into that. We skip ahead to the future a little bit now. So as of right now,
whatever you want to do, brother, I'm here. I see some of your interviews go like hour and a half, 2 hours, but whatever you want, I'm here.
Yeah, and it's never intentional, you know what I mean? Because this show is random, yo. Like, we just do whatever feels right. Yeah, you know what I mean? We all chilling, kicking it, you know what I mean? It's just about hip-hop and whatnot. And, yeah, it be like that, yo. I think the longest joint was like 3 hours and 30 minutes and 4 hours. I'm like, damn, I didn't even realize it was that long. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, y'all was going in.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, so skipping forward a little bit. What was two of your most current projects?
Actually, last year, I actually dropped 4 projects. They were all EPs. I know you said 2, but I got to say 4 because I dropped 4 last year. I dropped Songs of Solomon. That was produced by The Soul Solution. It's an EP. I dropped. Did I do No Cappuccino? I did No Cappuccino. Then I did Laminati 1 and Laminati 2. So that's 4. So No Cappuccino, Laminati 1, Laminati 2. Those are all EPs, and they were all produced by Klepto. Klepto is also the producer of a project I did the year before called Bloody Luciano. And that was the first full-length album that me and Klepto dropped. And yeah, so me and Klepto got a lot of things in the bag, but
Yeah, I mean, because you had, yo, like, you put me out to a lot of new shit. You let's see, that's crazy.
Talking
Yo,
about no cappuccino. I'm saying
yo, my
like,
bad. Not to cut you short, bro. Like your audio went out for like a brief, like
oh, okay. Oh, I was
so.
getting a
I
call,
just
probably what it is. So I'm gonna run.
oh,
I'll run that back super quick. So, No Cappuccino was like a concept album, you know what I mean, or concept EP, because a lot of people were saying like no cap, no cap, no cap, and basically it's like no cappuccino is like my slang for no cap. You know what I mean? Because I like to do things different, or that's how my mind works. So it's like no cappuccino, just espresso. You know what I'm saying?
see,
So a
that's
lot.
that's crazy you said that. Yeah, because I didn't even I didn't even think of that. You know, that's actually pretty cool, man. Like I
Yeah,
just thought coffee. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. No cappuccino. That's like you stop bullshitting, or that's like saying I'm saying I'm not bullshitting. There's no cappuccino, just espresso. You know what I'm saying? Like straight raw shit. You know what I mean? Because
Word.
cappuccino, is kind of sweet. You know what I mean? But espresso is that straight raw deal, and that's kind of what I meant by that. You know what I mean? But that's a real dope project. And then I got Laminati One and Laminati Two, and Laminati is I'm starting to really go back to my roots of the streets. And a lot of times when I was I reels, you would hear the street element in it, but because I was living more of the street life at that time, I actually didn't want to rhyme about certain things, because certain things were going on, and we had the attention of those that we didn't want the attention from. You know what I mean? So, there would be elements of it, but I didn't want to rhyme about it. But since 2015, 2016, the end of 2015, the beginning of 2016, I really started changing my life, and I really got out of the life. And since then, you'll hear me rhyme more about it. But I'm being that so much time has passed, I'm able to rhyme about it now. You know what I mean? So like really what I'm doing is I'm dropping a lot of street jewels, and I'm doing it for my crew, Llama. You know what I'm saying? Love and Money Amongst Us, Lex and Midtown Assassins. That was my crew. Rest in peace to Big Zilla. Freeborn Grind, Free Goon Pop. Shout out to Sean Dawn, Alley Grown, Fifth Street. You know what I mean? Like we we had we really were doing music, but we had an organization as well, so to speak. And a lot of my brothers aren't here, so with the Llama, we put the X's, and the X's are for those we lost, and also for those we lost to the prison system. You know what I mean? So that's why we got the X's in there. So now, Laminati is just kind of like our thing. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of a dedication to my peoples. So that's why I dropped Laminati One, Laminati Two. You know what I mean? And then now next up, what I'm doing with Radicus, you see what I'm doing with Radicus is the In Zilla We Trust. So I'm paying homage to my peoples who aren't able to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I've kind of been like carrying the torch, and I feel a big responsibility, but I also, these are my brothers in my heart. You know what I'm saying? And of course I feel the responsibility to rep for them because they can't. You know what I mean? And hopefully I could just carry the torch. But now, I can talk about a lot of things, and I can also, but I do it in a way where, I also spit a lot of slang because with our crew we had what we call llama lingo. You know what I'm saying? We were always constantly spitting llama lingo, which was basically our language, our codes, things like that. So such things like that, like I just made that up like last year, the no cappuccino. You know what I'm saying? That would be considered like llama lingo because I'm an original llama. So I just created that, and And rest in peace to Zilla. Zilla was big on that. Grime was big on that. I was always big on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Henny bottle. You know what I mean? We call that the golden hammer. You know what I mean? Like, and people might be thinking about, oh, they might be talking about a gun, or they might be talking about this, but that's the thing. It's like an inside slang. It's like an inside thing. Only those that are in the know is going to know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So that's that llama lingo. But, you know, those are definitely, not to get too far into it, but just those are definitely some projects that I dropped last year. All of them are on Spotify, Bandcamp. My Bandcamp is still reels.bandcamp.com. And you know, I'm on everything, iTunes, Pandora, you know what I mean? And anything, all the streaming sites I'm on. So if anybody wants to find any of my projects, it's just Realio Sparkz. You know what I mean? And Sparkswell is with a Z.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, the part two joint was fire. I like Crime Rave off that. Crispy fried chicken, and surprisingly, that it was dope. I'm like, all right, crispy fried chicken. I didn't know what to really expect at first. You know what I mean? When you hear a title like that, but you know what I mean? You think Ludacris or some shit, but like that shit was ill, man. I like what you do with that project.
Yeah, so the crispy fried chicken is that money, man. You know what I mean? It's crispy fried chicken. It's that bread.
Nice.
Breadulina. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, man. Like, I love the fact that you guys also have your own lingo and shit like that too, man. Like, I feel like that's fucking dope. Like, that's that best friend shit, where that's that family shit. That's that having another twin shit. Like, you know what I mean? Where you can just you guys would know what you about to say, you know, what you about to do, and how you handle shit. I like that. And the fucking what's that? The golden hammer you said? It matches up though. It looked like a hammer. Like you flip it upside down, it looked like Thor's hammer type shit. Like, you know what I mean?
He sees he's holding the golden axe like on the bottle, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But you know, it's I mean, I know it's brown, you know what I'm saying, but it's kind of like in the light it's golden, you know what I mean? So, you know, and then plus, like, you know, the bottle is like a hammer, you know what I mean? It's
exactly.
just some other shit, you know what I mean? And that's what it is. It's just that inside lingo, that inside talk, you know what I mean? And I think that's really like part of the origins of hip hop. Have always been that. You know, always coming up with slang and new terminologies, and certain shit will catch and people will catch on to it and it becomes popular. Other shit is just inside and other people don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I mean? And that's okay. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. I mean, because at the end of the day, like, you do what's best for you. You know what I mean? 'Cause people's always gonna have the feelings about shit, or you know what I mean, with their opinions about stuff, but it really don't matter. Like, hip hop's our expression of ourselves. It's an extension of ourselves. So, you know what I'm saying? You can't take that away from us. So, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and having your own lingo and shit, it's a beautiful thing, man. Like, that's an awesome thing to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is dope. And the fact that, like I said, with the whole no cappuccino shit, I thought it was like coffee. You know what I mean? Naturally, because it's just like, yo, cappuccino, all right. But then the way you broke it down, it was like, yo, that shit ill. Like, I like that. You're making people think. It might be a little scary for some of these people because they don't want to, you know, sit there and think about shit. But, yo, we got to expand our brains a little more here, because I feel like we dumbed it down so much that reading feels like a curse or something. You know what I mean? Or experimenting outside your comfort zone. It's not a natural thing no more for people. So
Yeah, you know, everybody wants to follow along or just, you know, do whatever's in or be trendy or whatever. And, you know, it's about originality and stepping outside of the box, and you know what I mean? So maybe a few more people will catch on. Maybe you'll hear other people say no cappuccino. But if that's where they got it from, you know what I mean?
word trademarked. Word trademarked. That's what's up though, man.
I even think
I mean,
the dude that did the cover, I don't even think he knew what I meant. But he did it that way. I was like, that's good. I was like, I like. He did like a couple covers, and then he came up with that one, and I was like, yo, I'm like, yeah, keep that. You know what I mean?
nice. What was the first design though? Did he try to make a coffee or some shit? Like, like just try to make it as simple as possible?
It was similar, but he actually was showing my face. And then he did another one where my like face was hidden. And I was like, ooh. And then I asked a couple people, I was like, what do you think about this? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. I said, I'm gonna run with this one. You know what I mean? But he originally was going with the, like, you see the cappuccino on the front, you know what I mean? With the no cappuccino and the Italian flag colors and all of that too. Because that's what too, like I always want to not always be in the forefront, but rep my culture as well too, because I'm Italiano, you know.
Yeah, that's a dope album cover, man. I got it actually right in front of me. Like, I like it. Like, it definitely has that mob feeling to it too. You know what I mean? So like, it definitely it came to life and shit. So
Yeah,
that shit was dope.
I actually sent him a picture of me, like so that is actually from a picture of me, but the way what he did with it was dope, because it's like it
Yeah,
don't look from a picture. It looks like maybe he drew that shit or did something with it, but it actually came from a picture.
yeah, nah, shit dope. Like, I like that. It's not done lazy. It's actually like an idea. It looks dope. It was brought to light, man. He did good work. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
dude that did the Bloody Luciano cover.
yeah, that shit hot. That shit is crazy. Um, that one is definitely hot, man. Like, I like how it came out. Like, it has like an anime feel to it and some shit. You know what I mean?
Trust.
Word. That shit is hot too. But yeah, man. So I mean, out of what you dropped more recently, to kind of summarize it down a little more, do you have any? Which one would you consider to be your favorite out of your more recent drops?
Um, Bloody Luciano has a real special place in my heart. Um, and it's hard for me to pinpoint a favorite, because all of my projects are like big, you know what I mean, and they have a certain time and place and special place in my heart. But um, Bloody Luciano is definitely one of my favorites. Big shout out to Clipto. He's one of my favorite producers to work with. Besides Kiwa Tati. Um, and But I would say also too, like No Cappuccino and the Laminati projects 1 and 2, they definitely have a special place in my heart too. And Bloody Luciano is a full album. I think it's like 14 joints on there. With an intro and outro, so I think it's like 12. But it's a full length project. It's from front to back, has the skits. Like it was just really well put together. A lot of people are coming out with EPs. So like No Cappuccino, I was kind of working on No Cappuccino and I was working on the Laminati projects at the same time. Could have been a full album, but what I was doing, I was like, you know what, I'm going to split these up. And they're all the same producer, Clipto. So I was like, I'm going to split them up and I'm just going to drop EPs. And I was like, the No Cappuccino, I felt like I had some real hard joints on there. And then, so I'm like, yeah, this shit's coming hard. No Cappuccino. That shit just was like a light bulb to me one day. And I think it's dope too to drop EPs because, it keeps things fresh. I kind of, I didn't really have like, I didn't have any like big financial backing for these projects. So I kind of just was doing them independent. So I'm like, yo, listen, I'm just going to keep dropping these EPs, just keeping my name alive. And I dropped some videos with them as well too. So yeah, just basically keeping the name alive because I have like bigger projects that's coming out, like full length albums, and it was just keeping the name alive. But I would say out of my real favorites, got to be no Bloody Luciano, got to be No Cappuccino, and Laminati 1 and 2. Bam, definite.
No doubt, no doubt. Good choices though, man. I mean, everything like you said, I definitely can understand that. 'Cause, I mean, everything you put out has a special place and shit. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like it would be a hard choice to make out of all that. But I mean, sometimes, you know what I mean, there is that one album, that specific album that like you would play repetitively. You know what I mean? Like back to back to back to back. Even if it is your own music, whatever the case is. So it's like, because I know some of the artists I interviewed previously, some of them actually did have a favorite album. It's technically supposed to be a bit of a trick question because you really can't pick a favorite. You know what I'm saying? Because everything you do is your favorite. But some of them
Yeah.
actually did have like they pinpointed a specific album and a specific track. So it was kind of it's interesting, like to hear people's feedback on their overall music and their selection things. So that's definitely crazy. Like if I was to ask you what's your favorite album from any artist, like from our genre, like would you have a favorite rap album or would you need more like five rap albums to consider to be your favorite?
It's real hard to pinpoint an absolute favorite. You know what I mean? I would have a lot of favorites. You know what I mean? And they probably wouldn't be new. You know what I mean? They'd be going back to the blueprint of things. You know what I mean? There's so many, like, I mean, obviously 36 Chambers, all of the early Wu, you know what I mean, was real vicious. Cuban Links, Iron Man, Supreme Clientele, Liquid Swords, like all of those are real solid masterpieces. You know what I mean? Like my favorites are like masterpieces. You know what I mean? And like I'm a student of the game. Like, I feel like Showbiz and AG, Runaway Slave, that's a masterpiece. I feel like Gangstar, Daily Operation, and Hard to Earn, those are masterpieces. Those are my favorite two Gangstar albums. I love all the Gangstar albums, but like those two to me are like, and all of them are masterpieces, but those are my two favorite. Like, yo, those are like bread and butter. Eric B and Rakim, Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. Like that has to be like one of the greatest hip hop albums ever made. You know what I'm saying? And I love Follow the Leader too, but I just felt like Eric B and Rakim, Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. That's like my absolute favorite Eric B and Rakim album. You know what I mean? So I mean, there's just so many, but a lot of my favorites is like going back to those days in that era. You know what I mean? Because to be honest with people, like I'm in my 40s now. You know what I mean? And that's the era that I grew up in. And I'm just I'm really glad to see that there's a lot of people, a lot of artists that are still carrying that torch and keeping that energy alive. You know what I mean? Well, it's gone.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Yes, that's pretty. It's pretty crazy, man. Plus, you got a lot of features too, man. Like not like a whole bunch, but you got a lot of decent features, man. You got Poison Pen, right? You got C Ray's Walls. You got some shit. So it's like that's dope. Like how'd that come about? Those connections? Were they? You know what I mean? Because I do know you have a connection with Vast Air, correct?
Yeah, that's my brother. And Poison Pen, I know through similar people. Like Poison Pen is my brother. Like, if he reaches out to me, I'm gonna answer. If I reach out to him, he's gonna answer. Um, C. Ray Walls, I knew from similar connections. Like, and also like doing shows. Like when like in the beginning of my career, I was able to do a song with Sean Price. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to the God. Like, that was big. One of my first co-signs was Planet Asia when I was in LA, and that dropped. You know what I'm saying? Like in 2010 on a Tone Spliff project. But I actually did that song in the studio with Asia in LA. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
Yeah, I actually met him at his crib, and I was actually trying to get him production, and it was me and one of my good friends, Lamarck, and he actually was working for a label out there, but he was Muslim, so he had to go make salat. And when he went to go make salat, we were listening to my beats and shit. I started rhyming, and so Asia was like, yo, he's like, well, what are you doing with this? Because like my strategy at first, because I'm a producer too, like my strategy at first was like, you know what? I really don't know how to approach the game. I really don't know what to do. So I was like, maybe I could approach the game from a producer's perspective first and then make my break as an artist. But I really got some good reactions out of Planet Asia, and big shout out to him. PA Medallions, man. Like he really gave me him giving me kind of like the cosign, and like 2 weeks later we was in the studio, we did a song. I had to go back to New York because it was my daughter's birthday, so I didn't end up staying in LA. But I was in LA before that for like 6 months, I think, just politicking and figuring things out. And through just similar connections and things, I made the connect with PA. But that right there, plus I really have a lot of respect for him. So when he had those reactions for me, I was like, damn, I'm like, because not to say that I didn't believe in myself, because I did believe in myself, but I do want to say that I did have some people around me that were pushing me more to go in the producer direction. And and it was almost like, damn, like, I believe in me, you know what I mean? But I still believed in me, and I still always had a passion for rhyming, but it was like, okay, I'm listening to what they're saying, and some of them were actually doing things in the industry, and what they were saying made sense, so I was approaching it from that angle. But yeah, like a lot of the collaborations that I've done have been through like natural connections that I've built, you know what I mean? You know, it I opened up for Ghostface, I think like definitely 3 times. It might have been like 4 times. And I made a connection with Trife Diesel. So back in the days he was Trife the God. So Trife Diesel, we ended up doing a joint on my second album, and things like that. But Vast Air, that's my brother. We were doing, I think it was at a show in Brooklyn when I first met him, but we had similar friends, like big shout out to Lifelong and Elohim and brothers like that just similar circle, so me and Vash actually became friends because he was actually writing a book and I was writing a book at the time. So we connected, and then like we started talking about our books, and and building, you know what I'm saying? Because he has knowledge of self, I have knowledge of self. We studied a lot of things, and we just started having conversations about stuff like that, not even about the music. So when it came time for the Cannibal Ox reunion, he's like, yo, Rails, he's like, yo, we're having the Cannibal Ox reunion. They had the reunion was at the Knitting Factory in New York, and it was a sold out show. A lot of legendary people came, like Mark Echo, Grand Poobah, and all of us performed, and it was great, you know what I'm saying? And from there, we ended up establishing a tour for the Cannibal Ox reunion. And Vass was like, yo, Rails, man, he's like, Allah is seen and heard. He's like, you got to come on tour with us, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And I had done a lot of shows, but I'd never been on tour. So, big shout out to Vass. Like, he gave me the opportunity to come on tour with them, So I ended up touring with Cannibal Ox, in the Crimson Guards. I became a part of the Crimson Guards, which is like an extension crew. And we ended up touring from like the end of 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. And I think the last time we actually went on tour was 2017. It was a smaller tour. And I ended up being on the Cannibal Ox sophomore album. As I Reels, I'm on a song called Sabretooth on the Cannibal Ox sophomore album. And that was a big album in 2015, and when I went on tour with them for that project, I kind of had like an epiphany, because I was like, I just kind of you got me reminiscing a little bit, but I kind of had an epiphany, because I actually was leaving a situation that was a little bit dangerous, and I was able to go back on tour, because we hadn't been on tour in a minute, and in and out of being on tour, I was always back. I was in the streets or I was on tour. I was in the streets and I was on tour, and I just had experienced so much, and plus I was getting older, and I just have a love and a passion for the music, and I was like, I don't want to end up dead or in prison, man. And I'm like, I got to stop doing the things that I'm doing. So I had a situation, and I left somebody in charge of it. And when I was on tour, they kind of were like fucking everything up. And because I was running shit, and it was like, damn, it's like, and I was getting stressed out about it. But then I had an epiphany. I'm like, yo, I'm like, don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? So when I came back, I made a promise to myself. I said, I'm not going to go back to that situation. I'm just going to remove myself. And it was hard. You know what I mean? It was really hard. It took a lot, man. It took a lot to change. Um, you know what I mean? I know I'm kind of getting off topic of what you asked me, but you know
That's all good.
this the Henny talking. Like you got me reminiscing now, thinking about a lot of things. But yeah, man, I've been blessed to do a lot of collaborations and stuff. It's been a lot off of natural connections. Like I got a joint with Killer Army, man. Not many people could say that, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
word. That's crazy.
I made that connection when I was on tour because Falling Down producer wanted to work with me, and that was actually one of the first songs that he sent me, and I killed it. And then he's like, yo, let's do a whole project. So that ended up being the Blue Lion Chamber. You know what I'm saying? And then Solomon Childs is on that, and Vass is on that. But like Solomon Childs is another connection. Like that's my brother. Like I consider him a brother. You know, Beretta 9. We don't speak all the time, but like, you know, I've helped him out with certain things, and he's been on. We've been on a few, at least 3-4 songs we've been on together.
Mhm.
But I might not speak to these people every day or anything like that, but like if they reach out, I'm there, and if I reach out, they're there, and so just going back to the question, like it's been a lot of natural connections. You know what I mean? I got some new shit coming out too, like with some powerful features, with DJ artists. Like
Mhm.
I was able to do a joint with Sticky Fingers of Onyx and
Oh,
shit, and
nice.
we got another joint with like Black Poet and Swave Sever. That's a hard joint I'm on, and a joint with I can't speak about. I'm not gonna speak about too much, but
Yeah, yeah. Nah, I feel you.
you
You're
know,
gonna have us itching at the arm. I get it. I know. I know.
yeah,
No doubt, no doubt. But nah, as far as the reminiscing goes, man, that's what the show's all about to begin with. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about the music and the tracks. It's about the artists in general. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause me personally, I would like to know my artist's background. You know what I mean? Like, what's your favorite this and that? What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite? You know what I'm saying? Like, those that's the type of shit I grew up with. You know what I mean? So that's a dope story and a whole. You know what I mean? Because that's crazy. It's crazy how y'all all connected like that. And y'all came together. You made some dope ass shit. So I mean, there's stuff that
yeah.
people want to hear.
Yo, quiet as kept. Me and Vassar got a whole album just unreleased.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy too. Like it's been in the dirt, man. It's just like we've been looking for the right situation for it, and it's gonna come out one day. It's gonna come out one day. You know.
Yeah, well, with everything going on, man, y'all better put the pedal to the metal, man. You know what I mean? I want to hear that shit before all this other shit go down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Word. You already know, man. Like shit, I don't know, man. The hourglass pouring. Right now, it's just like you got to get in as much hip hop as much as possible, because who knows what's gonna happen.
Right. It's some crazy times we living in. You know what I mean?
Word, but
Definitely.
that Vast Air album, yeah, I want to hear that shit, yo. Like definitely, that shit would be dope.
It's fire, God. And it's
Um,
I want to say it's old at this point, but when we got off a tour in 2015. There was some problems with the management, so we were actually supposed to go back on tour, and we didn't end up going back on tour, and we were trying to figure out our next move, and so me and Vass was like, yo, we started talking, we like, yo, let's do an album, you know what I mean? Because we actually there's a Crimson Guards album out there too, that never seen the light of day either, you know what I mean? But things kind of fell off with the management and the label at the time. And I don't want to get into too much politics about it, but it was moving in a direction where the Cannibal Ox sophomore album, The Blade of the Ronin, was came out, and it was making noise and everything like that. And then like Crimson Guards was supposed to drop, and then Chief Rockers. Chief Rockers is the name of me and Vast project. You know what I mean? And it didn't. Things just didn't happen the way. And you know, Vast likes to move in a business way, and things are a lot more independent. So now we're talking about, you know, possibly just releasing it independently and not worrying about having, you know, all the backing and things like that. But still, there's a lot involved with that. You know what I'm saying? Like the fans got to know, like they got to appreciate when an artist is coming out independently, because it takes a lot, man. Like, you know, you're looking at studio budget. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at video budgets. You're looking at mixing and mastering. You're looking at physical copies. Like, these things just don't pop out of thin air. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of hard work, dedication, your craftsmanship. Like how you know, we're writing, we're in the studio, vigorous training and thoughts and all the years of training that come up to now. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of value in the artistry. But not only that, but like it's a lot of money that has to go into this shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, nowadays artists or fans just get this shit on the streaming. They could just go listen to it for free. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. That's cool and that's great. But fans gotta understand, like, yo, when artists coming up with physical merchandise copies or t-shirts or hats or merchandise, it's like that's the time to support. You know what I mean? Or when the artist is doing the shows, come out and support, pay that money for the shows. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot goes into this. So it's a lot to take into consideration. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, like, I got a bunch of projects, you know what I'm saying, like completed. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been in the studio, like, I've released as Realio Sparkz right now. I got like 12 projects released. You know what I'm saying? And I did that in the span of like 3 years. You know what I mean? And then like now I got like even more shit coming. But like even in the process, like it was like in last November I had to take a break. I had to break because of personal things, but also too, like, I just had been recording so much. Like I'll be in the studio like every week, dropping. Whether I'm working on like me and Tone Spliff, we got a whole project. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Kaio Itachi, we got another project. Not to mention, to just jump back, to mention one of my other favorite projects I have to mention that I've done is me and Kaio Itachi, Akira. We got a project called Akira, full length out. That shit is, I think there's a few copies of vinyl floating around still. That was on Rap the Winkle. You know, that was on Rap the Winkle before like kind of when Rap the Winkle vinyl label was kind of starting to pop off. And now if you notice, like, they put out a lot of Conway shit. They put out a lot of hot shit. You know what I'm saying? But like we were in the beginning with them. You know what I mean? And that project did well. I think it was like 250 to 300 vinyl units pressed up for that.
Wow, that's crazy.
And like most of, I think it was 300, but most of them are sold. It's you floating around on the internet. I got some on my page, like some that, and then I didn't get my copies until like later on. You know what I'm saying? So my copies are on my Bandcamp page. Anybody that wants them, and I have other vinyl on my page too. Like I got monatomic gold vinyl. I got I read up on what is it? The main ingredient vinyl, monatomic gold vinyl. I got a few Akira vinyls left. Yeah, like, so, you know, all the hard work that goes into these projects, man, like that's the time for like the fans to really support, is buy the physical merchandise. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is hard work, man, and plus a lot of money, man. You know?
Yeah, I've been trying to say, man, that like button ain't gonna feed families, and ain't gonna help put back into the artist's studio time and shit like that. To really support, you gotta cop the album, cop the merc. You know what I mean? Do what you gotta do to help support that artist. Like, I think people are still failing to understand that yeah, sharing is cool. That shows your support, but if you ain't spending like the little bit of money you got to support somebody, you can't complain. You can't complain if you don't hear that artist for a countless amount of months. It's because he wasn't there to support. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to really invest at the end of the day. especially the Akira joint, man. 2019 release, it was crazy, man. Scandalous, yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites on that shit,
Oh,
yo.
thank you.
Yeah, I mean, nothing to say if you were vast there, man. You got a lot of fire in that shit, man. The whole shit, like I said before, you and Keo got a good chemistry with this shit. So
We got some,
definitely, I definitely appreciate it.
we got some more shit coming, brother.
Word. See, now you got me amped because I need to be hearing more of that shit.
Yeah,
Word.
yeah, yeah. Like when I work with Keo, it's like it's we coming with like a lot of hard shit. Like the next project we got is like it's another concept album. I'm not gonna go too much into it. I've talked about it before because it's actually a couple years old, and it actually was some politics of the game that held it back. But not to any fault of Keo, not to any fault of mine, but we actually had a situation on the table for it, and it kind of folded. So now we're back in the independent thing, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like a lot of fans don't understand that. Like, plus he's working on stuff, I'm working on stuff, and when it comes to the independent, putting things out independently, things have to be in accordance. You need this shit costs bread. You know what I mean? Videos aren't free. You know what I mean? And none of this shit is free. And that's what people don't understand. I mean, unless I was an engineer myself and I could mix and master shit, you know what I'm saying? Unless I got a home studio and I could just record for free, I don't. You know what I'm saying? I when I go to the studio, I gotta pay bread. You know what I'm saying? When it comes time, depending on what the situation is, like if I'm doing, because I do projects for producers too. Like producers might reach out to me for a project, and we discuss business. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it'll be a dollar amount, and we'll figure out what that dollar amount is, and then you know what I'm saying, they might pay me some upfront bread, and then money when I finish, and then it'll be like okay, but then still with that situation, I still got to use part of that bread to go to the studio. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, word.
so it's just a cycle. But either way, but if I'm working on a completely, I'm paying for everything out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Videos, you know what I'm saying? All of that shit. And people gotta appreciate that. And if they don't look it, nobody gotta do nothing. But at the end of the day, when people start to realize how much hard work, dedication, discipline, craftsmanship, you know what I mean, goes into this. Support the artists, you know what I'm saying? Streaming is all cool. Streaming is cool, yes. But when you can, even if you're buying an album digitally, buy that shit digitally. Don't you might be streaming that shit all day for free. You listening to it all day for free. Let me tell you, this is a message for the fans. If you listen to an album more than once for free, when you got a little extra bread, you might as well cop that album because you're gonna listen to it again. You know what I mean? It's just showing some appreciation and putting it forward. But I think nowadays we live in such an era where it's like we live in like a microwave era where everything is handed to people right in front of their face, and they think that everything is just microwave. You know what I'm saying? It's not. You know what I mean? They don't understand the hard work that goes into these projects, the money that goes into these projects. You know what I mean? I don't mean to keep beating a dead horse, but that shit is real.
Nah, it is though. And yeah, it's the truth though. Like when you really break it down mathematically, the streams only matter if you hit a million or like whatever the case. Then it's somewhat beneficial. But as far as the amount of money that's invested into the videos, the projects, the production, it still doesn't really link up to the views and the streams and shit you get if it's not over that certain amount. You know what I mean? So people don't understand that. People see like, oh, he got 100,000 views or streams. They automatically think you making guap. But if you really know the game and you break it down financially, you know what I mean, it might be somewhat worth it. But it depends on how much you invest. You know what I mean? It depends on how much production it was, how much mix down, mastering, all that shit is separate costs. It's expensive, most definitely. So by them supporting your merc, by them, donating to you or whatever they can do, it definitely does make it does make a change. Like, it does help.
Yeah, man. Like we artists at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? This is our paintings. You know what I mean? It's and a lot of us are doing it because of that, because of the love of the art. You know what I'm saying? And it's like even if we're not making that bread, if we can make some bread back, that's great. You know what I mean? And but a lot of us are doing this from the heart. You know what I'm saying? Heart, mind, body, and soul, because we've lived this culture for so many years, and it's kind of like the artist that needs to paint. They can't stop painting. You know what I'm saying? They up in the lab like a mad scientist writing and looking for samples and trying to construct some powerful thoughts to just because it's like it's in your blood, it's in your DNA, and you got to do that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna tell you what, the fans are lucky. The fans, if you're just a listener, the fans are lucky because not just me. I'm telling you, like there's a lot of good, dope artists out there that are of really good quality that aren't getting their just due. They're not getting their props.
Word.
The rated. They might listen. Don't get me wrong. I get props. I get props. I do have dedicated people that do buy stuff. You know what I'm saying, and things like that. And people that like, yo, you one of my favorite artists. You changed my life, and that shit means a lot. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of artists out there like that are official. You know what I mean? And like myself, who we might not be getting the right credit. We might not be getting the right bread, but we're mad scientists, we're artists, and we're doing this with our blood, sweat, and tears, and because we got to, man. Like it's like I said, it's like the artists. Sometimes some of the
It's in
great.
the blood, yo. Like it's a part of life, man. Hip hop is life. You know what I mean? Like it's what a lot of people preach that shit, but they really do not understand. We can't. A lot of us cannot fucking live without hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? That's why it's like when we put whatever we put out, yeah, we put it out for ourselves. Yeah, we're trying to showcase our skills and whatnot that separates us from other artists. But at the end of the day, you're giving a piece of your heart on every single track, every single album. So, and that's kind of how people need to separate the business from the personal. You know what I mean? Like the business aspect is you're paying for a product. The product is us. The product is what we serve. And at the end of the day, you getting that product, so it's time to pay up. You got to pay it back. You know what I mean? Give back. And it's really not that complicated, yo. You know what I mean? Like I said before, you dudes can go out and pay $200 on a pair of fucking Jordans, just one pair. But they can't spend fucking $6 for an EP, $10 for an EP, bro. Nah, son, get the fuck out of here. Like they doing, they on that bullshit. And it could be your best friend. The funniest part about that, it could be your best friend, but they still won't do that shit.
Those be the ones, and you know what it is? It's fucked up because they can get it for free, God. They can get it for free already. You know what I mean? Because the system is designed against us, man. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Back in the days, it wasn't like that. You had to go buy the CD. You had to go buy the CD. If you was a DJ, you were copping the vinyl. You were copping two copies because you wanted the
Yeah.
doubles. You know what I'm saying? And nowadays, the vinyl is still popping, and I'm very thankful for that. But it's not. It's still not popping the way that it used to be. It's
Oh yeah, of
people
course.
people are doing limited runs because everything is digital, and in that kind of way, everybody is caught up in the matrix, and they can get it for free. So again, it's the microwave society. Oh, I could pop this in 30 seconds, bang, it's mine. You know what I mean? Or I could just 30 seconds. I could click to this website. I could log on to my Spotify. I could log on to this. I could just listen to it. You know what I mean? And that's great. That's great. But time, the shit is fucked up, B. I'm gonna be totally 100% with you. And it's like, yo, again, a lot of artists, like painters and like artists and musical artists, sometimes they don't get their props or just do, unfortunately, until they're on. You know what I'm
You know what it
saying? Like,
is too? You know what
how
it is
much is
too, bro? It's like if
how
you
much
don't
is
work with a
yeah.
like you know what it is, bro? It's like if you it's also if you don't have special features, you don't have famous people on your shit, people wanna just automatically just not even listen to your shit. and it's bullshit because you know what I mean. Like if you don't give something a chance, you're being ignorant. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like you can't sit here and say you're hip hop, but you're not gonna listen to a hip hop artist. Like you can't sit here and you know what I mean? Like what we do is a culture. It's for everybody. Hip hop is universal. But all this bullshit where it's like, oh, why should I pay for this? Why should I pay for that? We used to pay like what $12 for CDs, the album or some shit like that back when it used to drop in stores. So really think about it. You only spending $6 for a whole motherfucking album that you can bring anywhere with you because you got it on a phone nowadays. You know what I'm saying? They need to appreciate that shit. You know what I mean? Even the cassette tapes and all that other shit. That shit was we had a lot of good shit going for us. But this generation's some whole next level shit. You know what I mean? Everything is at your fingertip. You know what I mean?
You touched on something too, man, that I want to touch on. And that's the collaborations too. Like, you know, I feel like we're in the era of dick riding. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you said, the cosign. You know what I'm saying? And you know, personally, like we were talking about that shit earlier, a lot of my collaborations have come from natural connections. You know what I'm saying? And things like that of actually building with people. You know what I mean? And, you know, a lot of times if you got the bread, you could just pay for your features. You could pay for your features. You get big people on your album, you know, producers, whatever. That's great. You know what I'm saying? That's what the labels used to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's great. That's fine. I'm not shitting on that. But the consumers, you know what I'm saying? That's, you know, it's a lot of dick riding on. Oh, such and such is on that project. I'm gonna hop on that. Oh, let me go check out that because such and such is on it. So I got away. Like a lot of my newer shit, I really don't got a lot of features. You know what I'm saying? Like I do whole projects with no features on it on purpose. Because it's like, listen, I could hold down an album all by myself. You know what I'm saying? I want you to dig me for me. You know what I'm saying? Not because this artist is on my shit or this artist is on my shit, but I still will do some features. But when I do a feature, it's because it's the right artist, because it's organic. You know what I'm saying? It's not with the intention of, oh, I got to get this person on my album so they buy my. And that's where the dick riding comes in. You know what I'm saying? And not only from artists, but from fans. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I don't know, man, like what part of the game is that? Like, you know, but
you know, man, like I think there's a lot of confusion with this shit too. Like I think there's a lot of confusion with the boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Because here's my thing with that. It's like if you support an artist, you like them for their projects, their music, you like them as a fan, and shit, it's okay to rock a shirt of that artist. It's okay to, you know what I'm saying, to really support them out in public. But it's these niggas out here that be sitting here, see that, oh, they was on the fucking Today Show. So yeah, let me go fucking ride they dick and shit. That's a whole other story. Yeah, that's what I think is a dick rider. Someone that just bandwagons the shit out of the next new fucking thing.
Yeah, man. And seen a lot of funny shit, man. Like peep it. Like, yo, I've been putting in a lot of work for a long time, right? And then all of a sudden, one of my songs popped up on Love and Hip Hop, BET Love and Hip Hop, right? And then all of a sudden, I got people hitting me out of the blue. People hitting me out of the blue. Oh, Rails, you gonna blow? Oh, yo, blah, 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 blah. Yo, some of these people might never have copped the album from me. I know, and I see. But you wait. That's where the dick riding is involved. They want the cosigns. You know what I'm saying? They could know in their heart that you're dope, that you're fire, that you've been putting in that hard work. But they're not gonna support you until this bigger matrix and bigger conglomerate is co-signing you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, and like you said earlier, sometimes it'll be your closest friends. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I do have some close friends that do support me, so don't get this twisted. I'm not throwing any subliminals or anything like that, but it do be people in the circle too. You know? So to fuck all that dick riding shit, man. If you really rock with an artist, rock with them. You know what I'm saying? And you know, don't wait until a motherfucker blow up on some other shit, and then now you want to follow them, man. I seen some funny shit, God. I know artists, right? I know artists that switch up their whole shit, God. Like I seen it. You know what I mean? I know personally. Listen, I don't gotta say names, but I know personally artists, couple artists that switched up their whole shit. That was doing like some trap shit, doing like some more trying to fit in, trying to do the popular shit. And then they had a connection, and then or now because of like, you know, Griselda and Rock Marciano and heads like that. Now they coming back. You know what I'm saying? So they were doing, you know, maybe like back in the days they were doing like, you know, that, you know, more like the boom bap. Then they were trying to do it. They try to switch lanes. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to fit in. They want to do what's popular. You know what I mean? And then now, you know, because now it's back, now they want to come back. And I've seen that shit. And I'm like, I don't respect that shit. You know what I mean? If you notice anything about me, my shit, some of my projects are different, but they're still the same. It's still the same lyricism. It's still the same devotion. It's still boom bap. You know what I'm saying? Like you could go back to my Solar Flares album, and you'll hear a couple of joints that don't got no drums. They don't got no drums, and that was 2012. You know what I'm saying? And you could hear my Blue Lion Chamber album. It's got a couple of joints on there that's no drums. You know what I'm saying? And so I do all of that. You know what I mean? I do hard drums. I do boom, boom, boom. And then I got projects. It depends on the vibe that I'm on. It depends on the producer that I'm working with. But either way, I stuck to the script. The lyricism has always been there. The real hip hop has always been there. Whether it's hard drums, those samples, whether it's chops and loops, whether it's whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I noticed that though. I noticed that with all your projects, that you do have a bunch of joints without the drums, and I gotta be honest with you, that is hard to do. Like that in itself is hard to do because the drums are usually what captivates us sometimes. You know what I mean? And like that's really what a lot of that's what boom bap pretty much is. It's the drum and the snare. Like that's what defines the beat for the most part. So you take that completely out and still have the same vibe as if they were in. That takes a lot of you have to be really nice to be able to do that. And not everybody can do some shit like that. It's pretty much like doing acapella almost. You know what I mean? In a sense. So I definitely appreciate artists like you that actually do that. You push it to the limit. You don't sit there and stay in the comfort zone. You'll take whatever you got, you work with it, but you still stay true with what you're doing with your lyricism, your flow. I definitely noticed that. Definitely appreciated that as a fan of what you do. Like, you know what I mean? I like how that is. Plus, on some real shit, man, your vocal tone, bro, that shit is dope for hip hop, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a nice flow. It's like a lot of the beats you pick too, they complement your vocal tone, your flow. See, I'm an MC, so I break shit down too. Like when I hear somebody rap, like Rock This Monster, man, his voice is fucking next level. You can't, you know what I mean? And then you got your voice, man, that shit is ill. That shit goes good on all these fucking beats you choosing out. So with that being said, man, like I could not picture you on a whack beat or a whack track, you know what I mean? Just in general, because you got bars, you got the flow, you got everything you need to really push shit out there. So people need to appreciate that about you.
Yo, man, like big humble thanks, man. Like I really appreciate you saying that and acknowledging that. You know, super respect. Just you know, I'm real humble in that fact too. Like, you know, and for me, like, especially with the no drums style, you know, it's really like being a poet. You know what I'm saying? Like really being a poet, and it's kind of like putting. Well, you know what? You know how I visualize that too, God. I visualize that because it's like when you go to the original form of hip hop, right? It was break beats, right? It was a DJ, right, with two turntables, you know, and they would be spinning the back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep, let's swing it back. Yep.
it would come back and spin it back. So 2 records and looping it, right? So if you really do the knowledge and you think about it, like a lot of times when a producer is doing that, that's what they're doing. They're doing break beats. But sometimes you're doing break beats, but it doesn't have a beat, it doesn't have a drum, or it might have a faint drum in it. You know what I'm saying? It might have a small kick, maybe a rim shot or something, whatever. But the producer leaves it naked. You know what I'm saying? They leave it naked, and that's, to me, that's the raw essence of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to think about it, because that's where hip hop came from. It came from taking 2 records and looping it. You know what I'm saying? Or chopping it in a creative way, taking this part of the loop, then dropping this part of the loop, and then bringing it back and doing this. You know what I mean? Like, that's what real hip hop is. You know, and I think a lot of people also that don't know the history they'll try to give sole credit to artists like Rock Marciano, and I love Rock Marciano. I give all the respect in the world to Rock Marciano. He's one of my favorite artists. But I'll tell you what, we got to think about the RZA, we got to think about the Alchemist, and because they were really some of the first ones that had invented that style or had started doing that style, and it wasn't on every song, but they were really like some of the real originators of that. You know what I'm saying? And you even have artists like Planet Asia that was doing that every now and again. You even have artists like Willie the Kid. You know what I'm saying? And Willie the Kid doesn't get, enough props. You know what I'm saying? Because this ain't nothing new under the sun. This shit has been done before. You know what I mean? It's just we're in a different era where people are catching on. You know what I'm saying? To shit that's been done before, and that So I mean, it is what it is, man. But I just want
They just need to learn where it came from. Like, just gotta dig. You know what I mean? Like, just gotta dig to find out shit previous. Like, Moral Technique had a joint like that with no drums on one of his albums, like way back. And then Napoleon the Legend, he's another one that does like something similar, no drums. Like, see, that's the type of fucking hip hop I like too. Like, I fucking love it. I love the fact that you can just it actually makes it easier for me to really zone out to your lyrics, to be honest with you, because I don't have to sit here and think about the drums, how they smacking. I don't have to think about the melody. All I hear is just the vocal when you're rapping, and I love that, because then I can really sit there and be like, yo, what's he really saying? And be like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you know who did that way back in the days? Grand Puba. On Grand Puba's first solo album. He had that Roy Ayers sample. You know what I'm saying? Yo, and they didn't put no drums over it.
No drums.
It was rocking, you know what I mean? What, that shit was like 92. You know what I mean? And that was before like Wu-Tang and the RZA and all of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit is nothing new under the sun. And don't get me wrong, I love drums too. I love everything about it. You know what I'm saying? I love all the aspects of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a one-trick pony. You know what I'm saying? Like so yeah. But I just want to drop some jewels about that, because some people will try to shit on that style, and that's where I know that they really don't have any understanding, because that's what hip hop is. Hip hop is taking a loop, a break beat. You know what I'm saying? That's what hip hop is. You know what I'm saying?
Word. No, you ain't lying to them. You telling the motherfucking truth. There's so much to this shit that people overlook or don't really analyze and shit, man. There's motherfucking binary codes in the shit we do. You know what I mean? Like, some of us really break shit down and elaborate it to the fucking minuscule particle. You know what I mean? And then there's others of us that are kind of simplified. You know what I mean? Kind of watered down. I mean, that's cool. They can stay in their lane. You know what I mean? They want to rap about bitches and all that other shit. Cool. Stay in your lane, man. But then we got conscious rappers like you. You know what I mean? We got all the other ones we got on top of that. And Yo, I like my conscious rap, man. You know what I mean? I blast that shit any day the motherfucker whip. I don't care where I'm at. Like I'm not gonna be just jamming to the newest trend and shit like that, man.
Yo,
Like
don't get it wrong, Supreme. I rap about bitches too.
yeah, well listen, with every single track you guys about bitches and you got Usher in the background, then we'll talk. You know what I mean? I mean, until that point, it's okay to mention chicks and stuff, but like as far as like most of these dudes' albums, like every song is about the same thing. It's so repetitive. It's like why even press the next button? It's just the same track over and over and over. Like you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Hmm,
Oh,
exactly, exactly. Yo, before I lose my train of thought, one of the homies that had a question for you.
yeah,
She said she said you have to stay true to yourself, but don't you have to try to keep up with the times and not sound outdated.
yeah. You know what I can definitely answer that. You know what I think? I think that it's true to a degree, but you know what I think about that? Some like real art is timeless.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna keep my answer real simple for that one. Real art is timeless. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could make something that's so dope, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people will catch on to it now. They might catch on to it later. But if you notice some of the greatest songs, and not just from hip hop, not just from hip hop, you go to any genre, some of the greatest, some of the greatest R&B songs, some of the greatest rock songs, some of the greatest. Let's talk about jazz. Let's talk about blues. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the songs was done 50 years ago, but you rock it right now because it's timeless. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with hip hop. You know what I mean? Any great music is timeless. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess I don't really focus on like trying to keep up with the times, because in all respect and all humbleness, I feel like the shit I do is timeless. Like that's the conversation that actually, big shout out to Radicus. Um, he said that, when he approached me for doing an album, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, I really want to do a project with you. I feel like you're not getting like the respect that's deserved to you. I really, because I met Radicus on tour. You know what I'm saying? And then like years later, we just worked on this new project that's coming out. And I definitely want to talk about that too in a minute. But that was a conversation that we had. And one of the things that he said to me was like, he was like, yo, he's like, Rails, don't worry about it. He said, yo, they don't catch on now, they're gonna catch on later. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I feel like
Word.
that's what happens when you make timeless music. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like somebody could go listen to any of my shit, and if you listen to it, from 10 years ago to, or whatever you want to do, I don't. That's the thing about following trends too. I feel like if you try to keep up with the times, that shit'll be in one day and out the next. You know what I'm saying? But if you focus on just being you as an artist, that's just gonna last forever, man. And people can catch on now, they can catch on later, whatever the case may be. But it's like, yo, it's something that I was trying to touch on earlier. It's like, what is Basquiat worth now? What are some of these artists worth that's dead and gone? You know what I'm saying? They're worth more
Word.
now. People caught on. You know what I'm saying? And God forbid it takes that. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, like I appreciate you saying that in the beginning when we first started conversation. Like, yo, you a dope artist. I want to give you your roses now. I appreciate you saying that, brother. And again, I appreciate you reaching out. You know what I'm saying? Because I respect you as well, and I know that you're doing what you're doing is important for the culture. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like,
Word.
as soon as you reached out to me, I'm touching back to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that's what it's about. You know what I mean? It's not about you know having a big head or a big ego or all of this kind of shit. It's about the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
exactly,
you know
yo.
it's about us. We're part of the culture. you're part of the culture. So of course I'm gonna reach back. I think you're doing things important. You know what I mean? And I wanna give you your flowers too, brother.
And I appreciate that, yo. I definitely do, man. I mean, we all play a part. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's a promoter, it doesn't matter if it's a DJ, MC, etc., etc. Even the fans play a part in everything we do. You know what I'm saying? Because the fans make us who we are. But
True.
you know, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to change to their will. You know what I mean? There's that little paradox to it in a way because it's like you gotta stay true to yourself. That's what brings the fans. And then once the fans are there, you know what I mean? It's up to them to support. And
Yeah.
they support us and they bring us to where we gotta be. They help invest in us. We invest back into them, et cetera, et cetera. We all just it's all a big club, man. It's like a big culture. We all just need to support each other, man. Because you know what I'm saying? Like too many of our legends have already died. You know what I mean? Like we're to that point now where we're losing too much. You know what I'm saying? So those that are still with us, they deserve to be like have that respect. You know what I mean? Because not yeah, everybody probably could rap, could rhyme, but how many can actually do this and make it their own instead of being somebody else's dream? You know what I'm saying? Like we doing our own thing, we're living our own dream. You got to be on tour. All these things are fucking amazing, bro. Because not everybody gets these opportunities. And
Yeah. I try to think about stuff like that, man. Like, um, big shout out to my girl. She's a big supporter of me, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, she really believes in me, you know what I mean? And we haven't been together like too long, but she's like, she feels like I should have blew up or that I'm still gonna blow up and blah blah blah. And I really appreciate her, you know what I'm saying? And
word,
but like what you were saying is like I've been able to do a lot of important things in the culture. I've been able to go on tour. I've been able to work with some of my favorite artists. You know what I'm saying? I've been able to do songs with Sean Price, rest in peace. I got 2 songs with Inspector Deck. You know what I'm
that's
saying? Like
crazy. Word.
able to do things like that. So, regardless, regardless, I stay satisfied because of being able to go on tour, being able to do songs with Killer Army or Sean Price or Big Noid or Elder Sensei or, you know what I'm saying, Tripe the God or, my homie Poison Pen, Vast Air, being on the Fox album, like all these things, like, you know what, at the end of the day, even if I stop doing it now, I put a foot in the cement. I put my
Mhm.
foot,
Word.
I carved my name in the cement. You know what I'm saying? And you know, even if I'm gone, people could see my name later. You know what I mean? They'll be like, oh shit, I didn't know about this. Oh, you know what I mean? Whatever, whatever. So, I appreciate you saying that, brother, because it's important to remember those things. You know what I'm saying? And but I'm still hungry, nevertheless. You know what I mean? I'm still hungry.
No doubt.
Give me the plate. I want to eat.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. With that being said, actually, man, I've been waiting for this all night. I had to work this morning, so I'm definitely looking forward to this, man. I want to hear you drop some bars, yo.
Okay, listen. I'm gonna drop some bars for you.
Hmm.
I'm gonna talk about my new project too.
No doubt. You already know.
All right, so listen. Scent of a woman blonde, rose water, blazed in the rose garden, fold shattered, scattered, the globe departed, crystallized thoughts soaked in THC shrubbery, cocaine white frost on the bushes, bitches in love with me, free from society's grip, no shackled thought. Honey dips, drips, maca milk, I maca moist. Top choice, premium cup, medium rare, thick and juicy. Hot of this world, the derriere. Solar flare, soul for real. No despair, Claire Huxtable role playing, pulling her hair. All's fair in love and war, me and more. Hey yo, the food's on the table, straight soup du jour. Raw cane sugar packed tight in big barrels, shipping containers filled to the top. No Mel Gibson, Samantha Fox, hand on my cock, hand on my props. Planet Rock, hand on my Glock. Building this is Camelot. Iced out, flooded medallions. Fights broke out, the Price is Right, strong on robbery challenge. Goon straight wild and sticks out. Island escape pounding, ice for the goals, cross check but never fold. Ambrosia fans of the Lord, soldiers. Eat the food of the gods, complete the heist, gold sculptures, heavenly pictures, paradise visions, lace the background, dare to be vicious. Admit it, they tore the flag down. Bow, wow, wow, yippee yo, yippee yay, the Bulldogs play and rally together and stack 100K. I know it don't sound like a lot because it's not, but every dream starts with a small knot and a small. I'm from the school of the hard knocks, bozos, corrupt cops, red hot dots, diamonds in the rough that shoot buck shots, spread like soft butter, whip up baking soda, let it lock and take over, drop it to the oil.
Yo, that's what the fuck I'm talking about, yo. No, I have to mute myself because you know what I'm saying. I want everybody to be able to hear what the fuck you say. That's it, yo. I like that, man. That's what I'm saying. You got motherfucking bars, yo.
Just a little something, you know what I mean?
No doubt, but that shit hot though, man. Like I definitely, man. Like I said, yo, you definitely do your thing, man. On the tracks, you do your thing even without the drums on the samples and shit like we was just talking about and shit. Like you definitely doing your thing, man. Like before we get into your new project, I got one other question for you, man. Like if you had an opportunity to work with somebody that you always wanted to work with, who do you think you would want to choose for your like next project?
Can I name a couple?
Sure. I mean, as many as you want, whatever you your list, your bucket list.
You know, I really would want to work with bucket list is like Ghostface and Raekwon.
Mm.
You know, I really would like to work with the Alchemist. I really would like to work with Pete Rock. I really would like to work with Diamond D. I really would like to work
That'd
with
be dope.
I really would like to work with did I say Rock Marciano?
Nah.
I would really like to work with Rock Marciano, whether it be a collaboration or working on his beats. You know,
Word.
Willie the Kid, yo, you know who's really slept on? Willie the Kid, yo. I fucks with Willie the Kid, man. You know,
I heard it dope.
yeah, Willie the Kid is dope, man. You know, speaking of Willie the Kid, I mentioned a lot of Dark Man. I'd like to do a joint with a lot of Dark Man. You know what I mean?
No
Word.
doubt, man. That's that's a good little list right there, man. Definitely, yo. And
Yeah.
I would say for features and shit, bro, but you don't need no features. You know what I mean?
Yo, but like really producers. Oh, you know who I want to work with too?
Hmm.
Stu Bangers.
Yo, that shit would be motherfucking hot, yo. Word.
And,
I want to hear that motherfucking shit.
he's super dope. And of course, I would. Oh, how the fuck can I forget Primo? God, like I gotta say Primo.
Word.
Like
I was waiting for it, yo. I wanted to see if you was gonna toss that in the hat right quick. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but yeah, I think that's like if I could do things like that, that would be great. You know what I
No
mean?
doubt.
And no
Yeah.
disrespect, to any other members of the Wu, but like for me, the top two for me as far as lyrics is Ghost and Ray. It's Ghost and Ray, and you gotta understand how far ahead of the time Ghost and Ray was. You know what I'm saying? They were so far ahead of the time that you know people are just catching up now. Sometimes I mean, like I don't know, man. Like supreme lyricists, man. You know?
Word. Now you're right though. I mean, everybody's always gonna have a crazy debate about the Wu Tang and like who they prefer and shit like that. But like, yeah, definitely, yo. And the fact you had tracks with Inspector Deck is awesome too, though. Like, in general.
Yo, that shit was bucket list. That shit was.
Word.
Yo, Killer Army was bucket list.
Facts.
Sean Price was bucket list. You know what I'm saying? And yo, on some real shit, I got Planet Asia on the new Radicus project, and you know what? let's give Planet Asia his props. That man is a
Facts.
that man is a fucking legend. You know what I'm saying? He needs to go on a lot more lists. You know what I'm saying? And that's one brother that I would like to work with more too. You know what I'm saying? He's super intense with the lyricism and super consistent.
Yo, bro. Asia is a fucking beast. Like if whoever seen him go to work, you would have to respect it, dude. Like I legit sat in a room with him. And this, like, you know what I mean? Me, my brother at UT, and whoever else is there, I kind of don't remember decaf, DLP, like my peoples and shit. And like this man did like 5 verses in an hour, bro. And I'm just like, what? Like, how is that? Like, that shit is crazy. Like, I've never seen an artist do that back to back to back shit. And it wasn't like he was just throwing random shit out there. Every fucking bar was as hot as the last one. And every song. So yeah, Planet Asia, he definitely deserves flowers, man. Whoever don't like Planet Asia ain't motherfucking hip hop.
Supreme lyricist. Yeah, that's a fact.
Word, yo. So you know what? Actually, putting that out there, I would love to hear you Planet Asia on a fucking Kiwi Tachi beat.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit would go motherfucking like great. So I don't know
Yo,
if y'all can make that happen, but
yo,
you know what I mean?
we got a banger on the on this new project, Still We Trust. It's called Metallica, and we got Radicus is on the production. He produced the whole album, and for that shit. So big shout to them.
No doubt, no doubt. That's what's up, man. Yeah, like I said, yo, it's 2022, man. With all the fucking shit we've been through in the last whatever year, two, whatever, with COVID and all this shit, man, I think hip hop deserves a fucking huge comeback. Like, we talking albums, we talking collabs you never would have thought you would see, like, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, why the hell not, man? Like, like
True.
when COVID kicked in, it felt like Tano snapped his finger. Like, that's exactly how it felt. So many lives were lost for what? So now's the time we need to really just get shit moving, man. Planet Asia, Kia Witachi, DJ Premier, Realio Sparkz. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see that shit happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yo, Pete Rock, man. Pete Rock, Diamond D. Yo.
Word, Diamond D's too. Word, yo. You know what
Man,
I'm saying?
that would be a dream. Oh, Large Pro. Let's not forget Large Pro. I would love to work with Large Pro, man.
Yo, word.
Like, yeah, man. Like, but yo, Alchemist though. Listen, man. Alchemist is one of the greatest, man. He's definitely
Yeah.
one, man. Like, I would love to just do a whole, and I like doing whole projects with a producer. If you notice that, like, and that's why, like, cause I'll go off on a wave. I'll go off on different producers will take me to different places. You know what I'm saying? And that's what yo, big shout out to Just One, my big homie. He's on the check-in, you know what I'm saying? Yo, actually Just One is on the new project too. Just One is
Oh,
on the
no doubt.
new and my homie Black God. You know what I'm saying? And Black God 808, a lot of people might not have heard of him yet. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm introducing my homie Black God on this new project, and I've been in the studio with him for the past couple of years. Me and Black God got a project too. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be coming out. We got a couple projects. We got another project with DJ Test One. Big shout out to DJ Test One. Sal Cesari. That's the studio that I rock with. I go to the same studio that what's his name? Stove Guard Cooks.
Oh,
Yeah, we record in the same studio. You know what I'm saying? We have yet to connect and collab or whatever, but we record in the same studio. You know what I mean? His vinyl's on the my vinyl's on the wall. You know what I mean? But yeah,
nice.
but see, that's me. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I want things to happen naturally. I'm not gonna, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
why force it, yo? 'Cause when you force shit, it don't really come out the way you want it to, for the most part. You know what I mean? So
I'm one of them dick riding dudes too. Like, all the people that I'm really talking about are legends, man. You know what I mean? And just as a fan of the game, as a real fan, that's because that's how I feel like any real artist. That's how you came first. You came as a fan. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
that's one thing to never forget. You know what I mean? So word is bond. And
That's where we lost our way though, because you know what I mean. Everybody's so quick to just, you know what I mean, like, oh well, that goes back to what we was talking about earlier with the dick riding shit. I think that also becomes an issue because a lot of people be like, well, if I buy this Realio shirt, is everybody gonna think I'm dick riding? That's where I think like we need to better people have to better understand like what the boundaries are. You can buy a fucking Realio shirt or a Realio Sparkz shirt and rock it. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You're supporting who you like to listen to. You know what I mean? But then you also got the ego trippers, where it's like they don't want to buy your shit because they hate you. Because, you know what I mean? You doing what they can't do, whatever it is. So it's like all that shit needs to stop. just you know what I mean? Just support each other, man. That's what keeps great music like your music coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, do people really want to be that stupid to like not support people or watch their favorite artists and never make another album again? That's fucking stupid. Like,
nah, they, they wave riders, they dick riders. They want to wait for the wave. They look at the wave could be this big. They're not gonna hop on.
mhm,
They're gonna wait till the wave get this big, then they're gonna hop on. You know what I'm
yep.
saying? So
I was your number one fan, and yo, why this and that? Yeah, word, yo. Nah, fuck all that.
there's dick riding shit, man. And listen, I've changed my ways in a lot of ways. And like I said, I was talking about it a little bit earlier. Like, I've done a lot of healing, and I changed my whole life, man. And you know, I have to check myself, man, because sometimes I have anger issues, and I wanna smack people up. I wanna put the toolie to people's face, and it might even be artists. It might be people that I could touch. You know what I'm saying? And I really have to check myself because I see a lot of fuckery. I see a lot of fuckery. You know what I mean? And justice is a reward or penalty based on his or her actions. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I
Word.
just sometimes I just have to let things go. You know what I'm saying? And I've done I've been fucked in this game too. Pause. Pause. I've been with especially with shit happening overseas, and sometimes you can't touch somebody because they're overseas or whatever. You know what I mean? But even with a lot of artists, man, some of these people's favorite artists, they could get touched, man. They could get touched, and I think that's what artists need to realize too is it's two things I want to touch on real quick. A lot of these artists is fake, man, and they got a big ego and they let shit go to their head, and they don't remember like we was talking that they was fans first. They were fans first, and they were fans of the culture, and keep it humble. You know what I'm saying? They let shit go to their head, and they fail to realize that they could get touched. You know what I'm saying? And they take people's kindness for weakness. But I'm gonna tell you what: the realest gangsters are gentlemen first. And when somebody is giving you that respect and treating you with the gentleman shit, don't ever take that shit for as a kindness for a weakness, because that same
Mhm.
motherfucker can grab your throat. That same motherfucker might have something in their waist, might have something in their pocket, and the flesh is weak, and anybody can get touched. You know what I'm saying? I want to touch on that, and the other thing that I want to touch on is something that I was talking about earlier. Is that the fact that like this dick riding shit, but in a different way, where you know a lot of fans and shit get shit twisted. They'll be like, "Yo, I rock with that motherfucker really lived what he's spitting. He really lived what he's spitting." All right. First of all, you don't know that motherfucker. Second of
Word.
you're glorifying shit that you might not necessarily know about. But I'm gonna tell you what, any real artist that's rapping about guns, drugs, selling this, selling that, if they're really doing that and rapping about it, the feds are watching. So I want,
You know what I'm saying? Word.
I want, I want fans to know that this shit is entertainment. So the fact is that when you're not living that life, that's when you can rap about it. That's when you can rap about it. So don't think that these artists out here is selling kilos and busting their gun, because they're fucking not. They're not. You know what I'm saying? So don't get caught. Oh, I listen to him because he's really living that life. These motherfuckers is not. They're not living that life. You know what I'm saying? And I rap about stuff like that more now because I'm not living that life. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. If I was living that life, I wouldn't talk about it. And when I was living that life, my raps I used to be more on a always creative, and I still am very creative, but I didn't talk about certain things. I talk about certain, you know what I'm saying? Because I have the real life experience of it. You know what I'm saying? But don't ever think that these artists out here is really living that life. They fucking not. It's entertainment, man. You know what I mean? But that's some other dick riding shit that I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers really don't know, Supreme.
They know, man. Like they you know what I'm saying? You can tell when a nigga ain't got knowledge itself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when they want to play the file the leader shit. You know what I mean? They can file whoever's popping right then and there. They're gonna try to be like this person, that person. But then you got people like us. It's like we file our own shit. We do what we gotta do for ourselves. We don't gotta dick ride nobody to get to where the fuck we need to be. And unfortunately, that's what the game is right now. Everybody's spending thousands of dollars for features, for the newest out, the hottest out, whatever. But then you got others that are sitting here like pretending to be friends with them on fucking Facebook and all this other shit. And all that bullshit. I see that shit on a regular basis too, with this fucking shooting guns and shit like that. But then you be hearing some whole next level from their neighborhood niggas. Like, yo, this nigga used to get his ass whipped. But this man out here talking about he fucking somebody up. Nah, son. You know what I mean? Like, if I was to rap, I'm not going to rap about fucking being the murderer and shit like that. I'm going to just rap my bars, keep my vocab tight, and make sure my shit is legit for those that can relate. But this whole gun shit and drug shit, that shit is whack, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Back then, niggas was really doing that shit, so they had something to rap about. Now it's like, fucking, it's time to step up.
Shit is so real. I used to have to talk to my homies because we had a big movement. I'm in Syracuse, New York. We had a big movement, and we really had the feds watching our barbershop. You know what I'm saying? And my homies really was rapping about it. And we had a big movement in our city to where even our enemies on different sides of town, like our music was making so much noise, and some of the attention of things that we really were doing were catching the wrong kind of attention in that way. And I used to tell my homies, you know, whatever. I got saved, man. I got saved by a lot of things by actually being on tour, and I escaped certain things by going off on tour. And I came back and things was, I can't talk about too much, but the fact is that I've seen this kind of thing firsthand. And when I first had my deals, and when I was iReels, and I had my first deal with Belmont Records, and I was doing all of that, I really tried to stray away left and not really talk about that shit because I seen the attention that like it was bringing, and I said, homie, man, and like, yo, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, they raided our barbershop, God, and like they got a lot of video footage, they got a lot of music, they got like a lot of shit, man. You know what I mean? And things are past the statute of limitations, and you know they got what they got, and you know whatever. But at the end of the day, some of my homies really fell victim to that, and I really was saved by music, you know, and by going on tour and not being around, and also by not fucking snitching in a song.
You know what I'm saying? Word, yo. I don't think people understand that shit, man. You talking about that drug shit 24 hours a day, and then you actually break it down how you making the motherfucking drugs and how you selling that shit. Yo, you catch me on such and such app selling this and that. It's like, and you really standing out there all day, and then you rapping about that shit. What the fuck you think's gonna happen?
We was going through real beef too. Like we was going through real beef and all these things, and it's like, bro, like, yo, we can't rap about this. I used to get in arguments. They like, no, but cause you know what? That's what the streets want to hear, and that's why the shit was
Yeah,
so what it was. But it's like, yo, slow down, slow down. You know what I mean? But now I don't live that life, bro. I'm gonna talk about it sometimes, but when I do, I'm gonna drop these kind of jewels because that's what real OGs do, man. Like it's not about the glorification. You know, it's not about the glorification. It's about dropping some real jewels and dropping some gems and what can you leave behind? You know what I mean? And if you are telling those stories and tales, do it in a colorful way, do it in a powerful way, but also drop the jewels at the end of the day, man. Big shout out to my big home, Just One, man. And I
yeah,
know
peace.
I know Just One for a long time. And Just One is a real one. He lived that life. He really lived that life. He don't live that life now. Neither do I.
Word.
But he could talk about it now.
Word, word. You actually got questions for you based on what we just discussed and shit about like being overseas and shit. Let me ask you this question: do you feel like the newer generation of hip hop is primarily the main cause for why hip hop might be dying, or do you feel it could also be the OGs in the game not spreading the knowledge and not helping artists grow, instead just pushing them to the side type shit because they have that type of power? Do you think like where do you think hip hop is shifted in that little battle, if you will, the younger age and the OGs in the game?
I think that's a great question, man. I think that's a real good question, and I think that's something that needs to be discussed a lot more. Um, I think it's because real OGs are not having these conversations. You know, number one. But as far as the music, um, see, like, let me touch there real quick. Like, a lot of OGs in my neighborhood and where I'm from, they might be passing off the guns to the younger ones, and they want them to earn the stripes. You know what I'm saying? But they're not telling them what comes with this. They want them to earn their stripes and to prove themselves and blah blah blah. They already got their war stories. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Real OGs, they're gonna they don't want that. You know what I mean? Real OGs been through that. I understand there's still in the hood, man, like a lot of conflicts go on and they go on for decades.
Yeah.
Between neighborhoods, and they lost so many, you lost so many, and you playing tag, bang, playing tag, bang, and it's just a never ending cycle. And but I think real OGs know how to or have the desire and want for change, and want things to change. You know what I'm saying? Because you know number one, you can't get rich off of poverty all day. I think real OGs will understand that like the game is not the same as it used to be, and that like if you really want to be a kingpin and things like that, that you're really going to end up being a federal agent or a CI or something like that, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to be allowed to live in this game. You know what I mean? So I mean, this is not the '80s, bro. This is not the '90s even. You know what I'm saying? Things were a lot different in those times. When it comes to the streets, now let's talk about the music. Um, I think that everything has kind of been like brainwashing. I think there's a lot of brainwashing and psychology that goes on in things. You know what I mean? I think that it's too repetitive, bro. Like it's just it's a lot of brainwashing and psychology. Is that like I have to do this. I have to be like this. I have to be like that. You know what I mean? And as far as like OG artists not picking up the younger artists and still wanting to hold on to their glory and their fame and not give it up to the new people. I think that definitely happens. I think every once in a while you have people that do take people under the wing, and that's good, but it's kind of like a dog eat dog mentality of where, you get to a certain level and you feel like you got to maintain that level and you want to be the man. It goes back to the street shit. It's like you want to be the man. So once you obtain that status, you don't want to let somebody get in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, word.
So it's a lot of that going on too. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of different angles to this shit, man. You know what I mean? But as far as like the death and destruction and shit like that, like I don't feel like hip hop is dying out. I'll never say that. What I will say is that, like, from the era that we come through with, it was a lot more diversity. It was had a lot more different kinds of artists. You had your gangster artists, but you had your conscious artists. And guess what? Both of them was hitting the charts. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. You ain't fucking lying.
It wasn't so one-sided. You know what I mean? You had artists on all levels. You had your party artists, you had your street artists, you had your conscious artists, you had your abstract artists, you had all this different variations, and I think that's what's important. I think that people need to just be themselves. You know what I'm saying? And not feel like they got to get caught up in whatever, or I got to be this in order, or I got to fit in. You know what I mean? I think things in the 80s and 90s was a lot more colorful,
No, I
But
definitely agree.
I think I touched on a lot, and I hope that I answered those questions, brother.
Nah, definitely, yo. You was spreading a whole bunch of gems and shit, man. And I definitely know everybody that watches this later on and whatever and so forth could definitely appreciate that because you are an OG in the game, you know what I mean? You've done plenty in your lifetime, and the fact that you're sharing this knowledge and not being selfish with it is very important. Not just for hip hop, you know what I mean? 'Cause you definitely broke down a lot of shit with the studio talk and everything else, and like a lot of artists can learn from that and what you just said. And on top of that, your everyday life, you've been there, you've done that, and now you're not allowing people to make the same mistake as whatever might have happened. So that's the type of shit hip hop needs. It's the type of shit life everybody in life needs. Everyone needs some kind of somebody to look up to understand, and to learn from. And that goes for all of us. Like we all play a fucking part. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate you in general being the way you are, man. Like we need that. We don't need no more dickhead rappers. You know what I'm saying? We need real motherfucking MCs, real hip hop heads that's gonna support the culture and keep hip hop alive. Not just talk about it, but be about it. So
Actual facts, God.
definitely appreciate that shit, man. And definitely once again, once you plug in that new album that you push March 11th, you said, right?
Yeah. So the new album coming out now is called In Zilla We Trust, and it's perfect timing because rest in peace to my brother in arms, uh, Alan Ross. He was born on March 3rd, 1983, and he passed on April 25th, 2010. And he was, like I said, he was a founding member with me of our movement. And after so many years have been gone, you'll always hear me, obviously not in every song, but you'll always hear me kind of paying homage to him because this was our dream. This was our dream. Me, Zilla, Grime, Goon, Ali Grown, aka Sean Dawn, Upmost, Free Upmost. He's locked right now too. Like, this was our dream. Big shout out to Rage. Big shout out to Stage 5, Blur. Big shout out to Tara Pesh. You know, And big shout out to all the fallen soldiers, man. Like, you know, but like this album, like when first of all, it's produced by Radicus. And like I said, I met Radicus on tour years ago, and we just came together. Like he approached me about this project, and we figured out the business. And when he started sending me the beats, 'cause I want to talk about the process. You know, when he started sending me the beats, you know, he sent me probably like 20, 25 beats, and you know, I picked out the ones that touched me so much. But this is a fucking hard album, B. This is a hard album, and I recorded the majority of it, and it was all hard. Like he really brought out something. Like all my music is kind of like therapy, and that's why I like working with different producers, because like they bring out something with me. And again, big shout out to Radicus and Tenement Music. You can go get the new project on tenementmusic.com. But um, it wasn't until the end of the album, actually, this is how it worked out. This one beat touched me so deeply that I had to do a dedication song to my homie. And not only just my homie, like I wanted to name the album because we had a different name for the album. But when I did this song, I wanted to rename the album In Zilla We Trust. You know what I'm saying? Because the song touched me so deeply, and it's dedicated to Zilla because this was our dream, but it's not just about Zilla. If you go and listen to this song, every single thing I talk about in this song really happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about other homies that got murdered. I'm talking about, rest in peace to my homie Big Nitty. He went out busting at the cops. He had a shootout with the cops. You know what I'm saying? You know, they stabbed up my man Reese a few years back. You know what I'm saying? My little homie Roy that was up under me like years ago, they shot him in the head. You know what I'm saying? You know, my homie Reckless was about to come home. He was doing a bid, and they say he was about to come home in 2 months, and they said that he murdered himself in prison, and it just didn't make sense, man. You know what I mean? Did the cops murder him? Did the COs murder him? Like what happened? We don't know. You know what I mean? Big shout out to my little sis Kima. Her sister, Little India, got murdered. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the motherfuckers that did it was cowards, B. And you know, so like I had to get a lot of shit off my chest. And when he gave me the certain production, the certain beat, it just touched me like that, man. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, so I wanted to rename the whole fucking album, B, and I wanted to make it dedication in Zilla We Trust. You know, and yeah, man. So like, this is really a heartfelt album, man. You know, and it just so happened a lot of the energy that he was giving me with the beats, it was already a hard album. So I had a conversation with him about it because we had already had another album title, but I had a conversation with him about it, and we decided that, you know what, it does fit the album. It fits the album. You know what I mean? And again, it's all my shit is heartfelt, man. So you know, hey, it's out there. Radicus, Realio Sparkz, in Zilla We Trust. It's out there. He's been sending this song called 11 Plus. He's been sending it to some radio shows, and we've been getting some plays on that right now. Big shout out to everybody that's been spinning that. But you know, I'm shooting a video for the song Zilla We Trust, and I got to do that. Like the title track is coming. The video, I shot a little bit of it the other day on Zilla's birthday, Thursday, the 3rd, March 3rd. I shot a little bit of it the other day, but the weather was so crazy. Like it was cold as fuck and it was snowy, so I couldn't really. I mean, so God willing, tomorrow the weather's supposed to be a little bit better, and I'm trying to shoot the rest of the video tomorrow. But regardless of all of that, listen, man, in Zilla we trust. Tenementmusic.com. You know what I mean? If anybody really rocks with me, go fuck with it. And anybody that really rocks with Radicus, go fuck with it. You know? And I got some other shit brewing too. Me and Kaio Itachi album supposed to be coming this year. Me and Tone Spliff supposed to be coming this year. Me and Klepto probably coming later this year. We got a whole, like, these are full projects, whole albums, you know what I'm saying? And I got other shit in the cut too. We got to talk about the Vast. Me and Vast got to talk, you know what I mean, and figure out.
Yeah, that shit is just drop.
It's a lot, Supreme.
Yo, all I can say is, man, yo, just seeing the expression in your face and how much that album means to you, like, I definitely feel like people need to check it out because honestly, like, you have a lot of heart in that. So it's like, it's definitely gonna be a dope album regardless. The beat selection, the fact it's just the whole motivation behind it is what's gonna make it a dope project. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think me and Radicus are definitely gonna work again because he brought out something, God. He really brought out something, and you know, we already talked about something in the works possibly for next year, 2023. So you know,
No doubt.
and we got Planet Asia on that record. We got Tone Spliff on that record. We got my man Black God is on that record. We got Just One, my homie Just One, who was on the live feed. He's on that record too. So definitely everybody stay tuned. Me and Just One got a song on there, and we got a song on there that is dedicated to hip hop. We got one like dedicated to hip hop, and he was somebody that I thought of because he's an OG like me, and he's been through so many different eras that I was like, yo, Just, I need you on this shit. And you know what I mean? I knew he could talk that talk and talk about it. You know what I mean? So when I reached out to Just, I was like, listen, and yo, he's down with Team Hami with Poison Pen and all them, and you know what I mean, Swave Sever, and you know what I mean. But when I reached out to him, I was like, you know, that's what I do. Like if I do a collaboration, it's gotta be right. Like it's got I feel like that's the person for the song. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people might not know who Just One is, but that's my homie. And he's been grinding for years, and he's been making his own noise and stuff like that too. And he needs more props and shit like that too. So it's not all about the big names. It's about, you know, fucking that are true to the art and people that you fuck with too. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't like people from my area right now. A lot of my like real close people are either dead or in jail or prison, and you know, and my circle is small. So like I only fuck with a select few people. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. You know what I mean?
Definitely shout out to Just One, yo. Definitely shout out to him. That's what's up, man.
You know who Just is?
No. I'm just saying in general, like, because obviously if you invested in him and you can have him on your album, like at the end of the day, and plus you said everything else that he went through similar things as you, man. That's fucking awesome, and like shout out to him.
Do me a favor and check him out.
No doubt, yeah, bet. You'll after that, especially because you mentioned him, so I definitely want to check him out. But that shit dope.
You're gonna hear him on the album, and then like, you know, but definitely like check out his own work because he's, like I said, you know, he's with Team Hami. You know what I'm saying? He you know, Poison Pen and Swave Sever and all of them, and he's got a ill joint with Nems. They got a video. They got a video together and all that shit too. It's a dope joint. But
check it out.
He's got a bunch of joints. I just named that one because it's something that you know, a name you would know. But besides that, he's got a lot of Dolo shit, and he's good, man. You should check him out.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, if you recommend him, I'm definitely gonna check him. Definitely gonna check him out, yo. That's what's up, though, man. I'm glad you're able to get who you want on your albums too, man. Having that creative control is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and yo, this is the first time. Like, yo, me and PA, we've been in touch. We were supposed to work on a few things like over the years, and it just whatever. He's been busy, I've been busy, but this is the first time that we worked together in like over 10 years.
That's great.
That was that was good to get back and you know what I mean, do something with PA. You know what I mean? And inshallah, we'll do some more joints in the future.
No doubt. Definitely want to see that, man. Like I said, man, I'm gonna have to holler at Keo, man, behind the scenes, like, yo, son, yo, yeah, Realio Sparkz, Planet Asia, Keo Itachi, man. Yo, I want to fucking see you happy, man.
I appreciate you, God.
Word, no doubt, no doubt. But yo, either way though, man, definitely everybody needs to check out your albums, man, like the Spotify joints, even your features, everything you're on, man, is fucking dope. From what I've came across. I mean, I still got to do my own little digging and shit because I've been kind of off the grid for a minute. Like I kind of, you know what I mean? I stopped listening to a whole bunch of shit and just cut myself out from everything. But now that I'm back in it, I'm listening to all this new shit. I fucking love. I love the direction hip hop's been going in. So definitely appreciate artists like you and others that, like I said, take the time out of your day to hop on the show or take time out of your day to do collaborations, et cetera, et cetera. Like that's what fucking hip hop needs, man. I mean, that's what's gonna keep the fucking culture alive. You know
Yeah. Yo, can I say something now that I'm thinking about something?
What's up?
Yo, today, right? My son is 17. He's about to turn 18, right? Today, and listen, he's a football star, but he also is a track star, right? So he made it, I'm in New York, and he made it to the States, right? And today he took first place in the States for hurdles, and he took second in place for the triple jump. And I also want to say that he probably, if he was in the 50-50, or was it 55-meter dash or 50-meter dash, whatever it is, he would have took first. I'm telling you. But for some reason, his coach took him out of that shit. He only did 2 events, but he got first place in hurdles. Like, he's the best in the state for hurdles, and he got fucking second place in the triple jump. You know what I'm saying? And my son is a beast, man. He works really hard, and I want to like put him on blast too much, but he got a full ride scholarship next year for college and all that shit. And he's going to a D1 school. And I just want to shout out my son. I also want to shout out my daughter, Isis, man. Like, yo, she's into music now too, and she has a beautiful voice. She's more of a singer, and you might be hearing some stuff from my daughter, like, you know what I mean. So just stay. She's really has a beautiful voice. She's like a soulful artist, and she's crafting her works now, and she's coming, man. She's gonna be coming.
That's what's up, man. That's a beautiful thing when you get to involve your family. My sons are beat producers, like I said in previous shows, and I'm trying to have them step in whatever shoe print they can and just expand it. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. Like, I never understood why parents, like a lot of the parents, like in this generation, don't want to pass down like their talents, their gems and shit. It's like, yo, this is what we live for, man. You know what I mean? If you can have kids, why not make them in your image and then let them surpass you? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it's all about.
Word, inshallah, God willing.
You already know, but that's a beautiful thing, man. Definitely congrats to your son. Definitely shout out to your daughter, man. I definitely want to hear some shit then, if that's the case, man. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, she's crafting. She's like, she doesn't want the world to hear it until she has it perfected. I think she's already there. I'll be honest with you. But she's, you know, give her some time. She's going to be coming out.
No doubt, no doubt. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, but yo, I don't want to hold you up too much longer. I know we kind of we dibbled and dabbled in a whole bunch of shit tonight, yo. But
what's up, brother? Look at. Sang.
Yeah, word. I was gonna say, man, that shit looked empty when you was. You made it through though.
It was like there when we started, I think. You know what I mean?
Oh, damn.
Listen, I super appreciated you. I know you probably got stuff to do too. It is what it is, man. Thank you so much for everything, bro. Appreciate you, God.
No doubt, man. Let everybody know your handles for Facebook and all social media platforms.
Yeah, my fan page on Facebook is Realio Sparkz. Um, I really don't be on there too much, but like Instagram at Realio Sparkz, RealioSparkz, Sparks with a Z at the end. You know what I'm saying? At Realio Sparkz. Other than that, if you want to check me out on Bandcamp, you know what I mean? I got merch on Bandcamp. I got some free downloads too, man. Like I give back, you know what I mean? It's reels.bandcamp.com. You know what I'm saying? So check me out on Bandcamp. Plus any streaming sites, you know what I mean? Spotify, iTunes, you know what I mean? Pandora, Deezer, like any streaming sites you could think of. Plus YouTube, you want to check out my videos, just Google my name, man. Like you could Google my name on Google, you could search my name on YouTube. Oh, I
No
think my
doubt,
shit
no
cut out for a
doubt.
minute, but just Google my name. Google my name on Google, search my name on YouTube. You're gonna find a lot of shit. Plus, like I said, any streaming site and reels.bandcamp.com.
Yo, and, like I tell every artist, man, on the show, same goes for you. I mean, I think you already do this by this point because we've been sharing. I've been sharing your music and doing what I can to help support you as much as everybody else. Like I tell everybody else on the show, man, whatever new shit you drop, just tag me in it, yo. You know what I mean? I push it. I do what I can. I'm outside because, like I said, man, I'm all for hip hop. I'm all for those that support hip hop, and any way I can help keep the culture alive, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you very much, man.
No doubt, no doubt. But yeah, definitely appreciate your time, bro. That you had some motherfucking bars. You know what I'm saying? You got me on air for these new fucking albums. You about to be dropping this shit. It was definitely a good night, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for everything, bro. Appreciate you, man. We'll definitely be in touch, man. Anytime you need me, I'm here, God.
You already know. I'm gonna close this out and whatnot. I'm gonna drop the video on YouTube and all that probably tomorrow. Cause shit takes forever forever to upload with this large of a file. You know what I mean? But
Bro,
it's all gonna get pushed out. Send you the video and whatnot. And once again, yo, appreciate your time, brother.
no doubt, brother. Peace and blessings and salute.
No doubt. Peace, brother. I'll talk to you in a few, yo.
Yes, sir.
Hi, peace. Yes. So that was the homie Realio Sparkz. Well, man, yo, he had some bars, man. A lot of good times, man. We talked about a lot of shit, man. I definitely appreciate his artistry. Appreciate him in general. You know what I mean? Check him out, follow him, etc. The guy for his new albums. He got albums on Spotify already and all that. This video will be on YouTube and all that probably tomorrow. We have a special edition of the show for Tuesday. We're going to be featuring the homie Benny Hanna. Well, he used to be called Benny Hanna, but now it's Benny Holiday. So we're going to have a nice little interview with him about what's happened with his name change and a couple other things, Snow Goons, new release, and etc. So definitely tune in for Tuesday for that shit. And I'm going to drop the Hostile Rhymes and the Realio Sparkz well tomorrow. So y'all can tune in. I appreciate all y'all support, man. Make sure you follow all the artists that I've been having on the show. And just enjoy the rest of the weekend, man. Peace.